I get asked a lot about how I'm able to get creator points in Geometry Dash so easily, and a lot of people assume it's extremely difficult, but in reality it couldn't be any easier, especially with Update 2.2 and the lowering of general rate standards. Most people can probably get by with a simple 1.9 style level with some glow and effects, or a modern style level and get a rater feature on it. These are typically what most people's first rated levels look like, and those two examples are honestly great ways to get started since they're simple, but still require work that you'll end up being proud of. Before I get into everything, you might be asking, what are creator points? Creator points are often abbreviated as CP for short, or it was at least. There's a whole situation going on about it as I'm recording this, about that CP. But it's a statistic that gets put on your profile when a level you made gets rated by RobTop. There are 5 different level ratings that go around the difficulty face, and those are the star rate, feature, epic, legendary, and mythic, with each rating rewarding a certain amount of creator points. 1 for a star rate, 2 for a feature, 3 for an epic, and so on. The rating that your level gets when RobTop glances at it is entirely subjective and up to him, which does come as a shock to some, but usually the rating is based on the quality of the level, so with that in mind you can kind of expect what rating your level might receive. Now comes the part I've been meaning to say, and that's how I get creator points. You might be thinking you have to be super close to moderators or have a huge influence in the community in order for your levels to be sent and rated, but it's not true. I'm not close to any mods myself, yet I still get my levels sent, despite just being a regular player and creator. The way I'm able to get creator points is because I know what I'm going to make whenever I open the editor. I know the exact color channel setup I'm going to use, I know what type of decoration I'm going to do, and I have a rough draft of gameplay envisioned in my head, and whatever I'm thinking at the moment is what I build, and I simply stick with it. In other words, I essentially just go with the flow and what's in the present. Once I finish making a section of gameplay, I consult my playtesters who provide me their opinion, and I incorporate some of their suggestions into the section of gameplay I made to improve it, and keep repeating the process until I'm all the way done with it. While this is my process for making a new level, it almost never works for anyone because everyone is stuck on where to even start in the first place. The easiest way to find a starting point is to simply play the game. Play a lot of levels and see what type of theme or decoration appeals to you the most, and once you've found what you like best, make a copy of those levels and then use them as a reference to create something of your own. If you continually build and decorate with a certain style, it becomes natural whenever you open the editor, and you'll know exactly what you want to make as your next project, and then you'll be able to expand your designs and implement more into your creations. This is exactly how I was able to get my first creator points, is by finding what levels appeal to me the most and using them as a reference. It's not going to be perfect by any means at first, but I can assure you that you'll most definitely be proud of what you made as a first attempt, and you'll only improve from there. After I finish a level, I release it to the public, and I advertise my new level on my Twitter, YouTube, and Discord accounts. Now I understand that not everyone has social media or certain social media accounts, but having at least some would be helpful to have as it broadens your reach across platforms, allowing for more people to see what you've made. Unfortunately though, there isn't a really good way to handle requests, especially because there are tons and tons of people who are seeking a chance to request their level to be rated. Furthermore, a lot of mods like to use Discord servers as their way of managing requests, and it can work, but it's not the most optimal way since not only do some people not have Discord, but there ends up being 1,000 people in your server wanting to request a level, and before you know it, you're backed up on requests for who knows how long. On top of that, request streams also aren't a great way either, since there ends up being around 300 pending level requests, and the moderators don't have time to check every single one, and to make matters even worse, you have an extremely unlikely chance of getting your level played, since 1 in 300 equals that, which is basically like winning the lottery. I've seen a few mods on Twitter do level request threads, and while it shows your reply at the top as soon as you send it, after about 30 or so seconds your reply gets booted halfway down the chain of other replies, overshadowed by the most liked ones, which also makes this method impractical, since the mods with Twitter accounts tend to have decently big followings, resulting in several replies and lowering the chance of yours being seen. I'm not going to go on an entire rant about this since this is not what I'm trying to talk about, but maybe I'll save this for another video discussing this topic at a later time. Going back to what I said about finding a starting point, and with all of that in mind, making a rate-worthy and decorated level with good gameplay should eventually become really easy. The main struggle that everyone faces when trying to make a decorated level is giving it an appearance, and it seems as if no one knows that there are tens of millions of rated levels of all different kinds, and by finding the right ones and the ones you want, you can take inspiration from them and get a result you'll actually be satisfied with. Now, it's understandable that using others' work as a reference can send you on a guilt trip, especially for the first time, but there shouldn't be any shame in taking inspiration from something that you like. In fact, it should be embraced far more, since it shows that a creator has made something that people like, and those people want to do a similar thing. Additionally, creating shouldn't be something that's hard. It should be an enjoyable experience to everyone. It's just that most people need a starting point of some sort, and the best one is to play the game and find what you really like. Once you get the hang of it, you can start to expand your variety and make levels of other difficulties, and continue experimenting with new block designs and other elements to further develop your levels that'll give you a mix of all different kinds. There's plenty of resources out there in the game and online that can help you get into creating, and by reaching out and talking to the right people, there will be someone who will help you in complementing and critiquing your creations and fulfilling your dream of getting your first or more creator points. Once you're able to successfully do all this, only you get to decide whether you keep going with this or not, and as a creator myself in the game, I'll tell you, it's one hell of a journey you'll enjoy and remember. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching if you decided to do so, and I hope to see you in the next video.